Thorny, as we venture into the R&R, two truths are consistent. We love our dear Montana State, and we love great beer. And you know who else feels the same? Jeremiah Johnson Brewing. Brewed in the heart of Montana in downtown Great Falls, Jeremiah Johnson takes Montana's finest ingredients to craft some of Montana's favorite beers. And now, Jeremiah Johnson's second tap room is open in downtown Coeur d'Alene. Their Citra IPA is probably one of my favorites. But we all know, Thorny, you're not the hop lover I am. You're more of a mountain man Scotch ale.
Well, Foley, I'm certainly not a mountain man, but you are right. I do love their Mountain Man Scotch Ale. But come game day, you and I are both cracking their Golden Bobcat Pale Ale. So when you're looking for a quality craft beer brewed with Montana roots, a relaxing tap room, or just a six-pack to take to your favorite Bobcat tailgate, Jeremiah Johnson delivers. Make your next beer a Jeremiah Johnson, and as always, go Cats.
Welcome, everybody, to the R&R CatCast, a fan-based podcast focusing on Montana State athletics. We're two dudes named Ryan from the state of Washington talking about our dear Montana State. We hope you enjoy it. All right. Welcome back, Bobcat fans, and thanks for joining us on another episode of the R&R After Dark. We are happy to be here because we just kicked the snot out of Sam Houston State 42-19. Woo! All right. This is our Instant Take show. We are going to try to do something productive in this show, but we are just insanely hyped right now.
Yeah.
And
I have a lot of
vim
and various other liquids in my body at the moment, so we'll see how this goes.
It is late, but we don't care. We're bringing it to you. Montana State takes down the number one seed, the number one team in the nation, 42-19 in their house. We crushed them. No mercy. It was awesome.
What a dominating performance by the Bobcats, man. I'm excited to get into this, but first, you know what we normally do on this show? We go around the big sky, around the playoffs. You want to do that real fast before we get into the dominating performance here?
Oh my gosh, I got to pull up the scores.
Do you want to take the juicy one, or do you want me to take the juicy one?
Just give me a close moment, man. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't say that on the podcast. I cannot.
I don't know what to do.
Okay,
right
anyway,
now,
so you're fumbling and stumbling and bumbling. North Dakota State takes down Eastern Tennessee State University 27-3. A dominating performance by the Bison. ETSU hung in this one. Overall, I would say
game day.
It was just 13-0 at halftime. And it was like 20-3 in the third quarter, but eventually the Bison pulled away and move on to their, I think I saw their 10th semifinal appearance in the last 11 seasons or something ridiculous like that. So Bison moving on.
All right. A game that was noteworthy for us, South Dakota State beat Villanova at Villanova 35-21. When I tuned into this game, they were Villanova was up 21-14, and then South Dakota State just kind of started reining it in, and they had 14 points in the third quarter, 7 points in the fourth quarter, and now they're going to make the trip over to Bozeman. I want to give my hat, a tip to hat to South Dakota State. They have been, well, they haven't played at home, and they're just taking care of business, and so good on them, and I'm excited to host them back in Bobcat Stadium next week.
Yeah, that's a big win because it proves that the Bobcats, well, it doesn't prove it. It lays the foundation for another home game in Bozeman, so which is awesome. So I
can't believe that.
I can't.
Oh man,
I can kind of believe it. We'll get into this, but I may have booked a hotel room in Bozeman. Once I saw last week in the Bobcats won and South Dakota State won, I may have already booked a hotel room. We'll get into that. So pat myself on the back a little bit. What's your game here? Besides,
are we going to Bozeman next weekend?
We're gonna. We'll see. We'll see. I'm still finessing the wife on that one. We'll see. I already have the hotel.
This is gonna have to go through the wives.
Yes, that is a very wifey discussion at this point. All right, who are we missing here? The Bobcats, obviously. So then the other one, I guess it's my turn to discuss. The game that happened on Friday night, the Brawl of the Wild winner. The Grizzlies went over to Harrisburg. Is it Harrisburg? I don't know. Virginia lost 6-28 against James Madison. So James Madison's moving on to take on North Dakota State. I don't think anybody would have, outside of Missoula, would have predicted probably any other outcome on that side of the bracket. JMU versus NDSU for a chance to go to Frisco. The Grizz absolutely looked flat and got crushed. So that was not depressing at all for me. Yeah. Thus begging the question, would you rather go farther in the playoffs, lose to the Grizz? Here we are. So this is 2 years in a row now that the Cats have gone further than the Grizz in the playoffs. 2019, we beat them. 2021, we lost to them. And result the same. We're the better team nationally. Let's go.
Can I get an amen?
Feeling a little salty right now. Feeling a little salt bay where I'm, raising my hand up, sprinkling the salt down my forearm, drizzling it on to the rest of the FCS.
Man. All right. Hey, dude. Let's try to do something
productive.
Let's talk about something about this game because, wait a second. First things first. I was wrong all week long, man.
I never believed in double coverage.
So wrong,
the health insurance and Aflac is
happy. I didn't think we would hold a candle to these fart sniffers over in Huntsville, Alabama. Oh my gosh.
You're getting salty too.
I was so wrong. I didn't think we would be able to score. First possession of the game, we took it down like 75 yards, first possession of the game. And I was wrong, man. I'm so happy I was wrong. Although our offense still struggled mightily. But I don't know, maybe that was by design. Maybe we're just trying to milk the clock. I mean, we'll probably talk about that at a long time on Monday. But man, goodness gracious, 42-19. Oh, feels so good. I mean, feels so good. Let's talk. Just go, Thorny. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, I'm glad you called yourself out because I probably wasn't going to. I was going to be nice, but you've been texting me all week. Like, I asked you specifically after the Grizz game ended on Friday. It's like, do you think the Cats do better or worse than the Grizz? And you said to me, I think honestly they probably do worse. You think we lose worse than 6-28? So
yeah,
that's my only salt I'm going to throw at you. I'll end the beef there. You're right though. Like, all right, so let's first of all let's talk about the score. Something we do very infrequently on the show. We won the game 42-19. How about that first drive? What do you think about that first drive? That was an amazing first drive. Tommy Watt came out just guns blazing, and we did something that we should have been doing all year, and we have done at times, just throwing the ball in the vicinity of Lance McCutcheon. He's probably going to catch it. And how about that, man? We just drove right down the field. I don't know. I don't have the drive in front of me. It must have been no more than 5 plays, though. Right down the field, scored a touchdown, 7-0 real quick. What do you think of that first drive?
Unbelievable. Like, I mean, they answered a lot of questions about can Tommy Watt throw. Of course he can. I mean, capped off with one of the best throws of the entire season, probably the best throw in the entire season, probably one of the best catches I've seen the entire season from Tommy Watt to Willie Patterson. Oh my gosh, that was such a great play. But yeah, it was all set up with the big pass to Lance McCutcheon. And again, it was kind of reminiscent of a pass earlier in the season, like in the Eastern game where we kind of underthrew him just a little bit. And he did it late in the third quarter too. Man, what a play! But I
think you might be conflating.
It was really interesting
to me here because the first touchdown was the Philly special.
Oh, am I? Oh, sorry. Well, okay. Well, just let me talk about what I was talking about then. Whatever, right? I mean, the Philly special. I'm going to call it the Montana State special.
The Montucky special
in this episode. I don't think the first 14 points, and I could be totally wrong. I don't think Fonte touched the ball.
No, he didn't. He literally did. I don't think the Bobcats ran the ball to a running back one time. First drive, I'm looking at it right here. 5 plays, 75 yards. And then, of course, we intercepted their pass on the next possession for Sam Houston State. And then that was the 31-yard bomb to Willie Patterson that you're talking about. The beautiful pass, the beautiful, like, over-the-shoulder. That's a hard catch, man. That was an incredible catch by Willie Patterson. Everyone's probably going to talk about how great of a throw that was by Tommy Mellott. That was a fantastic catch by Will Patterson. All of a sudden, 14-0. 3 minutes into this game? Unbelievable.
It was. We were riding high. I couldn't believe it. So, talk to me about what happened next, Thorny, because I am all over the board right now. Give it to me right now, buddy.
I think, if you want to, if we're going chronological, which I don't want to do for the entire thing because I'll never keep up with this, but
no.
Sam Houston State did punt on the next possession. We traded punts a couple times, and then a 10-play, 55-yard. Well, I lost where I was going with that. Yeah, 10 plays, 55-yard drive by the Bobcats next, with 3:47 left in the first quarter. Man, that's not right. Anyway, 21-zip. All of a sudden, that was actually really early in the second quarter. I remember it now. This doesn't tell me what on the stats I'm looking at, but yeah, 21-0 after just stuffing the Bearcat offense a couple times. The Bobcat offense is looking unstoppable. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, unstoppable. What do you think of just I'm going to ask you this. What do you think of the play calling out of the gate?
Loved it. Absolutely diverse. Mixture of pass. We saw we saw Derek Snell catch a pass. Lance McCutcheon, Willie Patterson. Some good runs on the outside.
I think Nate really Stewart may have caught a pass on that drive too. He had a really good pass or catch at some point.
Converted a third down for us.
Yeah, big time. Man, yeah, we're floundering here, but we're just so excited. I don't really know what to talk about this. We usually frame this in the good and the bad and the ugly. There's obviously not going to be any ugly in this game. I don't know what I would possibly put in the ugly category. I don't even know if I would put anything in the bad category, except for maybe some injuries to the Bobcats. Notably
Chase Benson.
Notably Chase Benson. Eric Zambrano apparently was a scratch before the game started, so he didn't even play. Troy got dinged up. He played the whole game, but he was injured. And who am I missing?
Ty Okada.
That's right. Okada went out, and that's a big one.
Yeah, it is.
In fact, Sam Houston State started having their most success moving the ball when Okada came out because he had that huge fourth down tackle. And that was such an important part of the game. Like, it was 4th and 1. Like, all right, well, Sam Houston State will get it here or whatever. Let's just force them to kick after they get the first down. No, Okada comes flying in off the edge, stuffs their running back, who's Robinson. The names aren't coming to me right now, but he just stuffs him in the backfield, drops him. No measurement needed, not even a review. That was an obvious short tackle there. Loved it. Love that stuff. And Ramon Jefferson, that's who I'm thinking of. But, whew. But yeah, after he went down, things kind of changed for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Ryan Lort came in, and he's a guy out of Missoula. I was kind of watching him through the game, and he did okay. He looked a little bit lost here and there. Definitely didn't have the nose for the ball, as we kind of like to say, that Okada has, but he did all right.
I think he'll be fine. He's not Ty Okada at this point in his career.
Yeah, and it was just that. I think it was that shoulder injury again. It seemed like when Okada got, I don't know, the play was kind of indescript, and when you watched it, it was like, where did he get hit? Maybe his shoulder is just like so loose now because it's been popped out so many times. And I could see like the trainer was like trying to pop it back in when they were attending to him. So it doesn't look good for Saturday. Yeah. So I'm not sure, man, if it's going to be okay for Saturday or not. But just, if we're going to just like frame a little bit about the good, like the defense, man, hats off.
Hats
off to the defense.
The great.
Yeah. All year long, Freddie Banks, the thought occurred to me today, Thorny, I don't know if we're going to keep Freddie Banks. Freddie Banks seems like a rising star.
He
seems like a rising star.
I mean, let's be honest a little bit. His job's fairly easy with the talent he has. Now, you could totally crash that Cadillac, and that can totally happen. But when you got Troy Anderson on the defense, you better be okay on defense. You better be good. But no, I'd agree. I think he's elevated the defense higher than any expectation I had for the defense heading into the season, especially along the defensive line. He can't stay in Bozeman for too long. So big kudos to Freddie Banks on the game. Get the game called tonight. Huge fan.
Yeah. And then the second half hit Thorny. And I would say the second half had a mixture of the nerves and then so the good, the bad, and the ugly. I mean, with the big play to Lance McCutcheon, and then we capped it off on the end with the big play with Troy Anderson, Isaiah Fonse. I mean, all those are really good.
Love seeing that final touchdown run by Afonso. That was just like,
yeah,
fist pumping. Like, there we go. There we go. That's right? It. That's game.
Oh, man. But we're going to have to go through the stats later. But we were 3 and out for a lot of the time. And a lot of it was maybe just our play calling. And you're going to read the board. People are going to be pissed. And I was a little bit upset. And why did we not try to press the edges there a little bit more and take their soul? Maybe we were just trying to run out the clock. You talked to me about it. It was just the same game plan we had in Weber. I don't know. It was a little bit frustrating that we couldn't pick up a first down a couple times there. And we gave some momentum back to Sam Houston State, but they never really captured it. You know, they had that big play to their number 2. I can't remember his name. He was so fast. He scored 2 of their touchdowns for them. He was the guy that did that. That like what I don't know what do you even call that play that they scored on in the fourth quarter?
So I don't know how to pronounce his name. Ife Adaya.
Yeah.
IFE.
Yeah,
first
something
name.
like that.
ADEYI. But yes, he had 9 receptions, 184 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he was clearly their entire offense this game, really.
Yeah. Oh, he's super fast. Troy couldn't even get him. You know,
yeah,
they had like a triple flea flicker there that was just like, all right, are you kidding me?
So I'm so mad about that play.
Yeah,
they had
that gave them.
You can go back and watch that play, even on TV, which does not pan the camera downfield. The guy caught the ball about like 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Clearly on the camera, there's nobody in front of him, and that includes his own teammates. He runs the ball about 5 or 6 yards. All of a sudden, there's like 3 offensive linemen down there. How'd they get down there? If he just caught the ball, questionable, but pretty frustrating, but still.
Yeah.
Overall dominating defense performance. And the fact that they had to basically get away with one to score touchdowns, pretty telling.
Bobcats kind of took their soul. I mean, after the first quarter, after we put up 28 points on them, the Cats didn't look anything like, or excuse me, the Bearcats didn't look anything like I watched them last week. Again,
it's because we rocked.
I just want to say this flat out. I was completely wrong. We dominated them physically and just took their soul over that game. Their quarterback, Eric Schmid, he just looked uncomfortable all night long. I love it.
They were on their heels.
Their
defense was confused and their offense was confused. We threw different looks at everything. Yeah, Schmidt, we watched him last week. He was quick and decisive and fast. Like, he had good pocket presence, but the Cats were able to flush him out multiple times. And when he did get flushed out, like, he just kept his eyes downfield, which is a good quarterback. That's what they do. But there was just nowhere to throw the ball.
No,
and he just hadn't. He was just he didn't know what to do.
Gosh, our secondary played great. You know what's the key to our defense? I've finally figured it out: getting pressure with 4.
Yeah,
getting pressure with 4.
If you can drop 8,
and we did that.
You can drop 8. Math. If you drop 7 guys into coverage, and the front 4 are going to put pressure on the quarterback, you're going to win a lot of football games. Just period.
Yeah, I think we should end with that. Amazing job, defense. You know, amazing job first quarter or first half offense. I think we intentionally took the foot off the gas just to kind of grind out the clock there in the end.
Which I don't love, but it works.
Yeah. I mean, we will talk about that on Monday. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of talk about that regardless.
I have not been on Bobcat Nation once since this game started.
We did it, man. We went on the road.
Number 1. Took down number 1.
Road playoff? Was that our first road playoff win, like, ever?
Since 84, probably. I actually don't know the bracket in 84, but I'm trying to think since 84. Yeah, I think it is. All of our games have been at home. Like all the wins have been at home. Because 18 and 19 both ended in Fargo. We lost to Sam Houston State on the road in 2010 or 11. And the return year, they came back and beat us at home. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be, right? And the year that we beat Furman, we went to App State and lost. That was 2006. And then Lule, we lost to Northern Iowa one year, and we lost to McNeese State one year. Both on the road.
Yeah.
Look at them. So, look at the mind trap over here.
Jeez. Pulling it out of nowhere. I love it. Hey, I texted you this morning. I was like, how's this going to go? Because you and I talk so much about this, but we rarely give our actual prediction on the game. And I only give you 3 options. Win close, lose close, or lose big. And here we are with none of them. We won big tonight. We took down number 1 in their house. How many records? I mean, they just start throwing all these numbers around when they start talking about Sam Houston State. So many streaks for them ended tonight at the hands of the Bobcat.
It's absolutely true.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it.
Yeah, they 20 games in a row. They never lost at home in the playoffs. We'll figure all this out when we go on the podcast on Monday. But we broke some streaks here. But I'm also going to pat myself on the back here because we had Colton Poole wrong. And I asked you and Colton how many yards did Tommy Mellott need to throw for to win this game. And you both said 200 plus, right? You said 225 or 250?
I said 250.
You said 250. I think Colton said 210 or something. He said some very specific number. And I was 175 might do it, but maybe even 150 does it. 165. That's what he threw for. Let's talk about Tommy Mellott. It's the last thing I want to talk about before we get out here because this is our short episode. But Tommy Mellott proved he can sling it. Now, can he sling it when it's 3rd and 15? You need a first down. I don't even want to go there. I don't want to say anything. I don't even want to question anything. I want to be positive. I loved how he was throwing the rock. He was putting it up there where receivers could get it. He's got the arm for it. He's got the arm strength. He made some plays. That crucial 3rd down conversion to Derek Snell was something I haven't even seen. All right, so McKay could throw the lob up to McCutcheon on the sideline, and he was good at that. That's what McKay was the best at. But finding Snell on that 3rd down and 5, and he got 6 yards, that's something that we just hadn't seen before. So I want to just give huge kudos to Tommy Touchdown Mellott, who touchdowned for the cycle, caught a touchdown, rushed for a touchdown, and threw for a touchdown. What? Has it ever happened in MSU history? Has that ever happened in anybody's history? That's a really crazy stat.
It is a really crazy stat. I don't know. I'm just glad we got the kid from Butte.
Butte, Montana. Tommy Mullet, as the announcers called him for half the game, which is a very, I'm going to get roasted for this, a very Butte sounding name, Tommy Mullet. America right there. Oh, man, I love it. That was pretty funny. That actually kind of is hilarious. But, yeah, man, I just want to say kudos, Tommy Mellott. You proved me wrong in terms of, I just wasn't sure if he could take us to that next level. And he showed it. He can throw it well enough to keep the defense honest enough to do what else we do. So huge game for Tommy. Touchdown, Tommy. Love it.
Absolutely. But now the tape's out there, right?
That's the real question.
More dynamic on offense.
We've caught 2 teams in a row kind of off guard. No more.
Yep. All right.
Well, let's get out of here, man. Our instant reaction show. This was completely rambling, excited, vim, also alcohol-fueled episode, at least for me. Let's get out of here. You can find us on Twitter, RRCatcast. You can find us on the web, rrcatcast.com. You can email us at rrcatcast@gmail.com. And Foley, let's get out of here. Go Cats.
Go Cats.
Go Cats.